She's here. Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
lần con Lan Lợi.
Samgo. Hey.
Samgo Lan Lợi.
Hello.
Oh yeah. See, that's why I like you guys. You guys are so funny.
Ah.
I came here, I'm like, where is my wings? Like, sizzle in my tongue. Hopefully, this is a platform that makes people feel safe. I completely almost forgot.
There's a mess in my. Oh, look
Cái
at
hột
this.
thích ở tiết khẩu phạt.
Oh, kek alita lundo. Hello everybody. Tagaho is the Outcast, the podcast, and
Yes, today we have a very special guest and we'd like to introduce her. But before that, we got some presents from her.
oh yes, we want to thank Subtle Asian Baking for giving us this amazing book.
Amazing.
All
these
the
yummy-
recipes that make us feel like home.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Oh my god. Have you made anything yet for me?
No, I wish I would. I one day I'll sit down,
Yes.
buy all the ingredients I need.
Yes, we need to buy all the ingredients we need. That would be amazing. Yes. First thing I'm gonna make is polo bao pineapple bun. I mean, just like you can't buy anywhere here in
Look at
Florida,
this.
so I want to make it.
This is
Gotta buy like sourdough or something, like dough.
Tongyun,
Oh
but
my God.
matcha.
Wow, that's delicious.
That looks amazing. Almost like lava cake, but like Tongyun.
Oh, delicious.
And then there's bolo bao also, yeah. And then there's dan kat.
Ooh, egg tart, baby. That's delicious.
He has like some ube flavored stuff too. Like
Yeah.
this is the ube one.
And it's like such a general like Asian cuisine, not just
Mhm.
one specific cuisine, you know. It's like a lot of like good fusion ones too.
Yes, and it's on Amazon, guys. So if you're missing home and you need some recipe inspiration, this
Get
is
your
where to go.
books, baby. Get your recipes. Because it's just like, it's right there. You just read it. I know people are like, oh, you can just Google it. But then when you Google it, you gotta like scroll all the way down. And then it's like, you gotta like, you know, it's
I
annoying.
know
Here,
all
like,
the
it's
ads
right
and
here.
blogs. Why do people add all of this stuff? I
Yeah,
just,
they
I
put,
just
like, a
want the
full
measure. Yeah.
Story, I know, right? And then sometimes not even that good. Like it's like
We don't read if you can't tell.
Yes. So
Um,
here you can see from their Instagram even, okay, it's
Yeah.
freaking fire. So you can watch videos on how to make it too. Oh,
Yes, and it's such a nice book too. Nice cover.
no, it's so pretty. It's like to put something like on the, you know, for the table for the guests to look at. It's like that type of book. It's so nice, I must say.
We'll have the link below.
Mm-hmm. You know, baking stuff for, you know, people that have birthdays or like,
Yeah, I feel like baked good is just it's such a good present to give. You know, it's like heartfelt
it's
and
very heartfelt.
meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking like, oh, what
Asians-
about a cookbook? But it's just like cooking for people like as a birthday, not a lot, you know, not really a thing, you know, like it might, for a friend maybe, you know what I mean? Like it's better baked goods. I feel like.
Yeah, and like if for Asian, the way to reach the heart is to reach the stomach. So now we're gonna actually hear more from her of her story and where she came from. Yes,
Welcome, Kat!
Kat!
Yay! She's here. Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
lần con Lan Lợi.
Samgo. Hey,
Samgo
Hello.
Lan Lợi.
Hello.
Oh yeah. See, that's why I like you guys. You guys are so funny.
Ah.
Cute.
Oh,
Like the
that's so
cutest
nice.
ever. I love watching your videos. It brings me so much joy, girls.
Oh, that's
Thank
so
you.
sweet.
Thank
That's so
you.
sweet.
We have Kat here finally. And we could start with maybe you introduce yourself and maybe also introduce Subtle Asian Baking.
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Kat Lieu. I am the founder of Subtle Asian Baking, a little baby that was born in COVID in 2020. So, it's a group all about baking the Asian way. It's very exciting for me because I love food and food brought me so much comfort, right? So, during COVID, I made the decision to like really pursue my dreams, right? And be happy. A lot of things happened during then. So, I've been a physical therapist for 13 years. And I've been very burned out from healthcare. Then also my father unfortunately passed away in 2020. And that was when I built the group. And I realized I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to start dreaming a little bit harder and just, do something for myself, maybe jump away from healthcare. And now I carry, my dreams, my dad's dreams, my grandparents' dreams on my shoulders. So Subtle Asian Baking is a hobby, but it's also a really huge part of my life now. It's all about, building the love for Asian cuisine and appreciation for Asian cuisine and flavors and Asian baking. So I'm very proud to be here and very happy to talk about it. I could talk all day about it.
I love it.
Honestly, like just flipping through the book, like I felt a lot of like your love and dedication putting into like the recipes and everything.
I mean, like food is love, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And that's what we were saying. We're like, like baking good baked goods is like a good presence to give to people because that's like it's Asian ways of reaching people's hearts.
Sweet. Yes. This is the book of love. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
So what is your goal? Like, I know you started it as like, like a passion project and you have like this big dream with Subtle Asian Baking, but do you have like a goal? Because we get asked that a lot, like on our podcast. We're like, oh, what's your goal? And we're curious.
When you're I bet you're enjoying what you're doing, right? You like baking.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I just made something for myself today. Ube best.
What is that?
Ube best cheesecake. I love baking. I love cooking. I've done it all my life. Cooking, I've done all my life. Baking is relatively new since 2018. The loftier goal would be to build something as big as like King Arthur Baking or like Feed Baking or Food 52. It's a little hard because there's you need funding for all of that. So I'm not there yet. And there's a lot of gatekeeping on top too. Like people will say Asian baking still not there. It's too niche. It's not broad enough for like American audiences. And some people will say like, I've never been to an Asian bakery. What is that? Is this something you created in 2020? So I've gotten a lot of pushback, but I'm sure like, eventually we'll get there. You've seen so many Asian bakeries popping up, right? Like, and the flavors and so many new cookbooks out there all about Asian baking. So that's a loftier, more ambitious goal down the line. But, just right now, just amplifying voices like mine, having Asian experts who are experts of Asian cuisine, writing more books that is all about Asian baking and cooking and things like that. So all in all, I guess it's to build towards the goal of representation matters. And amplification of our voices and things like that. So that's the short-term goal. And then, of course, just to share recipes because, again, food is love and just being able to share my food to so many people, such a broad audience. So like my following is around 400,000 among all of the social media, but my reach is like in the millions. So monthly reach is like 5 to 10 million. It fluctuates because of the algorithm, right? But like just to show off our food so that there's less of a yucking of our yum is a great, just short-term goal right now.
Yeah, I think the first time we've maybe YouTube, but like we've heard of you in that Facebook group, like Subtle Asian Baking. Is that where you started, like a Facebook group or just like local community, or how did you start it?
Is that like a thing like Subtle Asian? Like that's like a whole community, Subtle Asian?
Yeah. So Subtle Asian Traits was the mother community, all the memes and all the cultural fun things. And sometimes they share recipes, but not so much. And then they branched out. So we're not all under one family, but we're under one name. So we're all called like offshoots and we're all friendly with each other, right? I wish we were even more connected. It would be great. Like I would love to join the Subtle Asian Traits team and be a part of that too, and then build upon it so that we could do more good and fundraising, charities, collabs. Yeah, I would love that. But so in 2020, I saw that there wasn't a Subtle Asian Baking for all the baked goods that you guys love, bolabado, tantat, and all of that. So I was like, let's just make it. Let's just make that Facebook group, and it sort of just blew up from there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
it is genius. That's amazing. Oh my God. I grew up we grew up with Asian bakery all around us, and we didn't even learn or appreciate it until we got to America, like where there's none of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
or even just the idea of making it, because
yeah.
we just get to buy them like down the street, and
Yeah.
like I guess because we don't make them, it's hard. We don't really know like the effort putting into that. Like
Exactly. So, afadema, they got the hongam. You said it really right. I see. I watch your stuff. Okay, I watch your stuff.
So cute.
And like when I moved from New York City to Renton, Washington, there's only one bakery around me that's Asian. And I'm just so sad because same as you, I used to be on 86th Street in Brooklyn, walking out, there were Asian bakeries, and now I have to drive everywhere just to get a milk bread or dantat or things like that. So I feel you. I wish I loved the Asian bakeries more and appreciated them more, but I do now. So, it's never too late.
That's true. Yeah, it's like kind of a flip now, because back then the only thing I would bake is like what, cupcakes or banana bread, like
brownies.
American stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
American
yeah.
stuff. And then now it's like a switch. It's like I gotta like try to make subtle Asian baking stuff
Because they
that's
come in
what's like-
boxes and it's so easy to make.
That's true. Just add water. Just add water.
Or egg, yeah.
Imagine a polo pao, just add water. So nice.
Wait, we can make that. We can start that.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yes.
That would be great. Oh, I would buy all of them. Oh my God.
Seeing them next to the brownie mixes.
Yes, everything. Amazing. Ube. So good.
Do you have a favorite recipe? Favorite and why?
Yeah, so if you want to do really easy, one of my favorites is the Bass cheesecake that I showed you guys earlier. So all you do is just blend all the ingredients in a blender, and then you pour it into a pan and you bake it at really high degrees so that the top is burnt. Tastes like a flan on the top, and the inside is like super, super creamy. So this is like my favorite easy go-to fusion recipe. So any type of like Asian inspired Bass cheesecake. If you want to go a little harder, so my absolute favorite recipe would have to be the Japanese cheesecake, because it took me a long time to perfect it, and I love the cottony texture of it. So that would be my absolute favorite, but it is a little bit harder to make.
There you go, guys.
Both of them sound so good.
They're both cheese.
Oh, to see the best.
We have like a previous guest that was also like she's going the direction of like vegan baked goods, and I guess one question we had for you is, do you have like advice for those who are aspiring to be bakers, or even within the Asian like baking community, words of inspiration?
So I have no business advice in terms of like becoming an owner of a bakery or like someone working in a restaurant. I have no advice for that because I've never done it myself. So I don't own, restaurant business. I've never worked in a bakery. I've never worked in the food industry. I can only say in terms of like food writing, which is a complete jump for me. I went from, being a physical therapist for 13 years to now becoming a writer in food. I would just say like, you have to read up on it. So like, even if you're a beginning baker, you just have to practice, or like, read up some recipes and learn your ratios. Like baking is all about science. So it's different from cooking. Because when you're cooking, like when I wrote this cookbook, I realized that baking cookbooks are a lot harder to write than a cooking cookbook. So you just need to learn the science behind the baking if you want to really become a baker, right? And then you need to practice your hand skills, like piping things and putting buttercream over a cake and things like that. That's all practice. I can't make croissants. Like for me, that's like the next thing that I want to try, because layering the butter and doing those layers is like scary for me. But I think everything just takes practice. So don't have that fear. Go on in and just do it, because that's how you begin the first step. Like you guys, the first things I was baking was banana bread. And then I moved on to milk bread. And then I did cupcakes, and I moved on to my Japanese cheesecake. So like, don't have that fear pull you back, and just do it. Even if you don't have like a culinary background, right? Just make that leap of faith and practice and to make some recipes. And if you want to be in food writing, I mean, I would say you would have to get your experience in. So try to be a guest writer for places like Epicurious or The Kitchen or Bon Appetit magazine, things like that. I'm doing my CLMD right now in food writing. So I'm working for a tasting table. Pay is not that great, but then I get a lot of experience in. So now I could tell everyone like I'm a full-fledged food writer, 2 years into, jumping from physical therapy to food. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you just have to do it.
That's a big jump.
I love it.
I mean, wasn't that scary? Was it scary for you to do that, like jump or like let go of that big career and then coming into this?
Yeah, I mean, being an influencer, a content creator, and owning the group, like there's not a lot of profit in it. Even the book, there's not a lot of profit because I do so much like charity work and I give back so much to the community. So the biggest scary thing was not getting a stable paycheck and not having benefits.
Right.
Luckily, I have a husband, so I do have an edge up there because he works, and I make him work harder. I'm like, did you get that raise? Things like that. But now I'm fully able to self-sustain. Like I've been able to subsidize my own salary. I do things on the side. I have income from the book. I have income from food writing. I have some brand deals. So like now it's like I'm making as much as I would if I were doing part-time physical therapy, which is not a lot, but like I said,
it's a big step.
Yeah, it's a big step because you're working on your own and for yourself.
For sure. Yeah.
But did you do part-time like before letting go completely, or did you like completely?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I moved to part-time physical therapy, and then that was still during COVID, and everything was done online through Zoom. So I did like did my PT work, did homeschooling, and then wrote the book at nighttime and things like that. So it was tough. And then I realized so this is a big step for me because July is when I need to renew my physical therapy license in Washington State. And I've decided not to.
Okay.
I'm going to let that go.
Yeah, full commitment to Asian baking.
Yes.
Yeah, and writing and food writing and cookbook writing.
Everything. Oh, that's amazing.
Whoa,
and I love that. I love that, you had a plan. You're like, okay, I'm going to do part-time first and go a little bit, and halfway through, because I mean, for us, it's our podcast, we have daytime jobs and, we do it because we have fun with it, and it's like, we don't want to stress ourselves out, but at the same time, we do want it to grow.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of getting really tired, like what you said, like at nighttime, work on it, and or I would wake up earlier to do stuff. Yeah. So
even before this, I was just ranting about how work is being annoying. I was like, oh, I have to work past 5, but yeah, it's just the little things, but then
maybe one day, it will be maybe if we're earning more, enough to be to just let go of that one day. Who knows?
That's a dream. That's our.
That would be I did 13 years as a physical therapist, and I've saved up money, and I have I do stocks on the side as well too, but I would say that if you're fully passionate about something, it has to be either it's a hobby or it's something that you're fully committed to. So if you watch Shark Tank, that's exactly what the shark would tell you, you can't have a side hustle business and then a full-time job because you'll never be able to grow side hustle business. Yeah. Right. So I feel that way too. Now I'm fully committed to my food writing career, but I wouldn't say I'm fully committed to my content creation, career, because content creation, you guys know, Instagram no longer pays for any reels. So I could have a reel that many of my reels have 2 million views, but I'm paid nothing. Yeah. It doesn't translate, and you don't always get brand deals. And then brands will come back and say, oh, we'll give you samples. We'll give you an air fryer. Yeah. But how do I eat with an air fryer? Oh, okay. Yes, I can eat with an air fryer, but how do I
pay for your food? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a juggle and a struggle. You have to balance what you need. I totally see that stability is really important. So if you don't have that stability, you really can't grow something that you want. So like I said, I have thankfully a really supportive husband. I have money saved up. And I had grants too. So Facebook actually gave us this huge grant. I got a huge grant from Pinterest, all for Subtle Asian Baking. And that's how I was able to sustain myself the last 2 years
That's amazing.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just like starting this thing, being a social media manager, like managing all the other stuff, like that's a lot of work. Like, I mean, luckily, like I have her and we're both like together, we manage the page together. And so it's like, you know, we have the job, but like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's a lot of work.
A little bit more stressful too. Like it's just like, oh, you posted this. I posted it twice. It's like, oh my god. It's like,
sometimes we share on the story like the same thing. I'm like,
oh yeah, but no, like, but besides the point, like you have big responsibilities. Asian baking, that's a huge niche in my opinion. I feel like, you know, like people saying it's not a big enough niche. I feel like it's a huge niche. Like
it really is. It should be as big as British baking. It should be as big as American baking. Not Too Sweet should be like all over the world. You know, like it's, I don't want to gatekeep this, you know. I want people to like bring ube goodies. I want people to bring pandan goodies to school and everyone be like, this is my boba crepe cake, you know, things like that. I want that. That should be the future.
That's true.
I have a question, an important question for me. Do you like durian?
How did I know you were gonna get to durian? I am absolutely in love with durian. I love durian with like this high passion. I could eat durian anything, like anything, except when it's warm, it's not as good. When it's cold, I feel like it's better. When it's warm, then it's a little mushy and the flavor gets a little pungent. But when it's cold, perfect. Ice cream, mooncake.
It's mostly in cold desserts anyway, right?
Yeah, like, it has to be.
The warm actually, one... I've had... Sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say I've had durian pizza.
Oof. A durian pizza? Where? In America?
In Macau. Yeah.
In Macau. Okay.
Yeah. It's a thing.
It is a thing. And honestly, I did like it. I
did
almost
really like cheese. If you think about it, you know, like cheese and durian, like durian maybe just has like an ending of a sweet smell. You know, like it's like a little bit to that point because it's stinky, but it's yummy. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, it doesn't stink. For me, it just smells strong. It's so
it is a strong smell. Yeah,
it's a flower smell.
Yeah, and
I
people
feel
are like,
it's a flower.
Stinks, but it's like no, it's just strong. And then I feel like a lot of people that don't like durian after trying is because they had a bad one, like it's not cold. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and
they didn't try the durian desserts. Yeah.
Or they hated it already. They're like, I'm not gonna like it. Yeah. And mostly men don't like durian.
They like act like it's like a big deal. Like, yeah, it smells like it's like, shut up. Like, just try. Oh my god.
If you want my husband to divorce me, all I have to do is eat durian and say like, kiss me, honey, and then he'll like run. My son likes durian though. He's open to it. He's young and he tried it young. He's okay with it. He'll say that smells like durian and he'll still eat it.
Oh, so nice. You see, because I mean, you can imagine the people that first had cheese. They probably were like, this smells so gross.
Blue cheese is basically like, you know, like it's blue.
So bad. Yeah. So it's like, oh, this is just a fruit, people.
Oh yes, we went to when we were at New York City like a few weeks ago. I had this like it's almost like a bolo bao crunchy on the outside, but like with durian like cream on the inside.
It's a puff.
Yeah, it was so good.
Oh my god! Now I'm making my mouth water.
Yeah, we always do that. We always do this. So you're from America?
Yeah. Well, okay, so this is a story. I was born in Montreal, Canada. So, and then we came over by car when I was around 2. My dad drove down from Montreal like 10 hours into Brooklyn, and I've been in Brooklyn for 30 plus years. And we just recently moved in 2017 from Brooklyn to the Seattle area.
Oh, so cool. Nice. East Side.
But you speak fluent Cantonese.
Yes, because of TVB.
Oh, that's like our English. It's like because of TV, like because of the English TVB, you know,
like American movies and songs. Yeah.
Elmo's World. Oh my God, Elmo's World after school every day.
You have a little bit of the English accent because I know a lot of my Hong Kong friends have that English accent.
Or like we spell sometimes like with the, oh my God, before I used to spell like with a U, like color with a U.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I still do. Or just quite a few of them where I would like spell and now I have to double check which is the American
Because
way.
now it's like, it's American. And the dates. Oh my God, I forgot about the dates also. So
Oh,
like, yeah, the first,
Lean.
yeah, first is like
That's how we do it.
Here is
Day,
what?
month.
No, here is
versus
month
day.
first.
Yeah.
Here's month first, right? And then
Mhm.
Portuguese and Chinese is month. No, wait. Portuguese is day first. For us in Macau, like the day is first. So it's the weirdest thing because like in Chinese it's month first. So it's like, but now it's the month first. Oh my God, I'm just like confusing myself even more. Sorry. Anyways, let's get back to baking. Oh my God.
So you were saying, right, like you if you wanted to succeed in Asian baking, you have to like fully commit to it. And this period you decide to not renew your license, right? I had a question.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Sometimes like I always take the conversation so far and then she forgets what she's saying. But you're going to work like some people just like, don't even have it,
Yeah, I mean, like I spoke so much with my grandparents and my mom. I have a thing for languages. So like I could understand a lot of like Mandarin, I could speak it too, not that well. And I could understand a lot of Viet. 我还可以啊，我也可以说一点点。I try,
Yes.
I really try. And then I love languages. Like when I watch Korean dramas, I try to learn those words too. And then anime, I know some Japanese. And then I learned French for like many, many years. So I love languages. I'm not a polyglot, but I just love languages.
I love it. Oh my God. What? I'm trying to remember like some Japanese word from anime. Like it's like bakata. It's like baka. How do you say like you're stupid or something?
Bakayero.
Yeah. It's so cute when they say it. Oh my God. I watch One Piece and then like I'm so in love with Chopper. It's like it's so cute. Like how can like there's just nothing like it. Oh my God. And then Yasmin is in love with Attack on Titan.
Yeah. I started anime with just like human eating monsters. Or just
That's your first one?
Yeah, that was
Sailor Moon's my absolute favorite.
Oh, I grew up with Sailor Moon.
And Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. It's hilarious. The two of those.
That's the classics. It's the classics. Yes. Wow.
Oh, I remember my question. Did you want to open your own bakery?
So that's been a lifelong kind of dream, especially since I was a child. But I've become quite lazy. So I like passive things. That's a writer. Like I'm
writing.
I'm a half introvert, half extroverted. To think that I have to wake up really early to get the breads ready, to manage all of the logistics. And then with like the break-ins that's happening in Seattle, like it's just worrying for me. If it's something more passive, like maybe a baking mix or like you guys said, like use water and make a bowl about like that. Yes, I'm more into that now, like an online baking kind of thing.
Yes. Oh my God, imagine one day in the supermarket you see like a bowl about mix and you see like your name there dedicated, but oh my God.
Add water!
Then I have to give you guys royalties. Is your idea?
Stop! Just send us some free boxes, yo. I love it. So cool.
I see. Yeah, no, the bakery does sound like a lot of work, and you always see the bakery like open really early.
And
respect to those.
Exactly. And it's always gonna be like, oh, who is your clientele and stuff like that. Like obviously not everyone is gonna like find it appealing. Like it's like only people that knows like Asian trades people, or people that are open to try, like some people, if you're closed-minded, they're gonna be closed-minded and it's like they'll be like, what is this? And then your Yelp reviews go stupid just because they don't understand the culture sometimes. And then I feel like even creating stuff that people would have to buy, like it's like they want it because they found it, like it's like, oh, just add water, yeah, heck yeah. That's so nice.
I think the thing with like Asian food or Asian baking in general, I feel like there's a lot that are probably unexplored too. Like when I think of like cooking, like so many kind of seasoning, kind of like herbs we use. Like I don't know, like Thai dishes. There's so many different types of seasoning, but here's like mostly like garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, and then I'm good,
No, I know what
But
you mean.
yeah, and the way they just slow cook a lot of stuff and like using the juice of bones and just I feel like Asian, we just have a lot, so many different varieties.
So many, yes.
And probably in desserts as well, where it's like it's a big range.
Untapped potential.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah.
Untapped. From our experience being like Kanto creators, like obviously like sometimes there are like negative feedbacks and negative comments or things.
Know-it-alls.
Yes.
Would they do that? Like, that's not how you do it. You
Oh
bake
my
it
God.
with, I don't know how much sugar.
Yeah. Do you have those? Or like, if you do, how do you deal with it?
Well, the negativity comes from many ends. So there's a lot of like bullying and racism for one. And then there's also like people who will say that your stuff is not Asian enough. And then they'll try to correct you like, oh, you made an Asian inspired horchata. Sorry, no H, horchata. And then they'll say, that's not from Mexico. That's actually from Spain. And then I'll have to correct them and say, no, it's actually from North Africa, but this is the Mexican inspired one. So there's just a lot of people who just get angry with whatever you do. It doesn't matter. Recently, I showed off a biryani from my Indian neighbor who's from Hyderabad. And she's like as authentic as you can get with an Indian mother who cooks at home for her family. And then someone wrote a comment and said, like, that's not, biryani. That's not how it's supposed to be made. There's always people who will give you feedback. When I made mochi, then people say, like, oh, that's not real mochi, things like that. But you have to understand in Japan, what is called mochi is different from what the West calls mochi. The West just attributes all of the glutinous type of rice cake sticky thing as mochi, right? So I think just don't take it personal, but you're always going to get that negativity and that bullying. So you could either respond to it or you just ignore it. And right now, the best thing to do is just block people who are like bullying you or harassing you online, because IG is not going to do a thing about it. Even when you report, like I reported someone who called me chink gook, slit eye, all of those things, and they didn't delete their account. They're like, so you just have to block people now.
No, yeah, for sure. It's like, especially like when they don't even deserve to see your like creations, like if you don't like it, then just don't look. But they have to comment, obviously. Just
it's free content. Why are you so mad at someone's free content? Free recipe. And you're like just anonymous.
And they're usually not even an account. It's like a bot account. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Just sometimes we're just like, sometimes we would like leave those comments and be like, yeah, let them embarrass themselves because
pin them.
Yeah, that'll be hilarious pinning.
And it's even nicer when like your like fans or followers like actually support you when they see these comments. I was like, oh, I feel like that's the most wholesome thing.
I think don't respond, because like, what happened to Simu and he responded to like a girl and posted her on stories. I mean, like, literally just don't respond. Let your team do it. Let your fans and followers do it.
That's true.
Just be neutral. Unless you have something really witty. Sometimes I can't help but be a troll myself too, and then I have to step back. I'm like, oh my god, I've turned into this big huge troll myself.
That's true. Same. I would go to my personal account and comment on our like podcast as me, because I was like, just so you know, it's just me, not Yasmin, okay? It's just me trying to throw some attitude your way, because just some people are just like, they don't even read or check or whatever. They just comment just because. Like, one time, like someone commented on mine, like, who would want to learn Chinese from someone that's not even Asian? Who's not even Asian. I'm like,
but you're fully Asian.
I'm fully Asian, just not Cantonese Asian, but still, like I grew up in Macau, so fair enough. It's still Cantonese. Filipino, Sri Lankan, still Asian, Some people think I'm Blasian, and I'm just like, yo, I am not trying to claim that title, that's like, I'm not black, I'm half Filipino, half Sri Lankan. Yeah, so it's Asian, very Asian. Yeah. But anyways, you'll still get it, and you're right. You just have to ignore it because you can't do anything. Yay.
We usually ask, like, okay, I know you already mentioned your favorite your favorite dessert. Yeah, but what's your favorite Kanto dish?
So I remember seeing that question, and yesterday I was going to recite it. And I was like, Sing Zhao Chao Mai, definitely.
Oh,
I love Sing Zhao Chao Mai. So Singapore Chao Mai Fan, and dim sum. Cantonese food. It should be my last meal. Has to be Cantonese food.
For sure.
Like I think one of the other episode we were talking about how like I think the guest said like, oh, like in the future there would be less and less like dim sum chef, or like because of how much, I don't know, art goes into it, how much work, and people nowadays just like food quick.
Not a lot of money. You don't get a lot of money like being chef,
that was another thing
or
too.
Opening a restaurant or anything on that, right? So
it'll be a lost art. So sad.
So your recipes are gonna be like the core that keeps on going,
Yay! I do have dim sum in my next book, so I'm very happy about that.
Amazing. That's good.
So that's an important work you're doing.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you on. And is there anything that you want to shout out, like that you're doing and promoting?
Upcoming projects, people.
Yes. The stage is yours.
Oh, thank you. So you could check out our Instagram on subtleasian.baking, or my personal @Kat Lieu. I also have a lot of recipes on modernasianbaking.com, and I have my current book right now, Modern Asian, it's hard to see, Modern Asian Baking at Home. There you go. And then my second book will be coming out in 2024. It'll be all about Asian cooking.
Can't wait.
That's amazing. All that work. Amazing. Check out her books, guys.
Yes. I just can't wait. One day we're gonna open a TV, turn on TV, and then maybe like a morning show for cooking show. She's baking. What? I'll be like,
that would be great.
I will like.
We had her on our podcast.
Yeah.
I envision it, girl. I can envision it. Oh, that's great. Okay.
Amazing.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, so honestly, keep doing what you do. Like, we really appreciate it. Yeah, and just one day, maybe when we get together, we'll bake like one of the.
Oh, you know what we should do? I did this with other podcast. We did like a bake off. If you guys are interested, we could do a remote like live Instagram kind of thing. It'll be so fun.
Yes, that sounds actually really fun.
Yeah.
How does that work? A bake off?
So I'll send you guys the link to the video. I did it with Proudly Asian, Infatuation, and Worst Asian podcast, and we did like a live 4-way Instagram where you guys would bake live, and then I'd be the judge. It was so fun. It was hilarious. Maybe
September she might come to Florida. So we might like do it. Like we could do
September?
Like, yeah.
Okay, let me put that down. So I'll choose like 2 other people. So
okay.
it'll be a 4-way like live Instagram. It'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Okay. That sounds cool. All right.
I love it.
Stay tuned, people. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Awesome.
Bye.
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 Bye.